It's Week 4 in the National Football League, and we'll see two of the best running backs in the game. Christian McCaffrey and Zeke Elliott go toe-to-toe. Next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. Going alongside my partner, Charles Davis. CD, you're an old school guy, and I know you've got to love our matchup here. Two teams that get after it the old-fashioned way, on the ground.
I love it. You know I love that type of football. You've known me for a while now. We've got the number 1 and number 2 rushing offense in the entire NFL matching up. Now, don't be fooled. Both of these teams can and will throw the ball in this one. They certainly love playing that game of field position, working between the tackles, chewing up time of possession. And they've each got a main man who's among the best in the league at toting the rock.
Two and one team set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panther offense ready to go for their first possession, and at the helm, you see him in his first year in Carolina after 3 with the Jets. It's Sam Darnold.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Everyone in a Carolina uniform happy to see that first down catch by DJ Moore, but none happier than his new quarterback, Sam Darnold, who never really had a wide receiver 1 in New York. Now he has one in DJ Moore, who's gone over 1,100 yards in each of his last 2 seasons, 3rd in the league in 2020 in yards per reception. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the All-Pro corner, Josh Norman. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott set to go on offense for the first time. And with Dak at the controls, his 6th season under center now as the Cowboys quarterback.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
That's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, What's the deal? I should have a perfect game.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. The numbers for Zeke from last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
On second down now, it's Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead.
A pretty well-executed run. They were telling us yesterday, Charles, they were hoping to get everybody in sync, the line, the backs, and everybody looked in sync on that play.
They were in sync, and the field tilted. And that's where we get the term running downhill, because when you've got that kind of momentum and everyone's doing it properly as you just described, it does feel like they are coming from downhill to you as a defender, and that is really hard to stop.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On fourth down, Joseph Charlton on the punt.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. From the 35 on second down, Prescott.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Now Prescott. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out and giving the ball back to their offense.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back.
The possession of the football goes over to Carolina.
And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10. Draw play, Darnold giving to McCaffrey. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Well, here's Joseph Charlton now,
standing just outside his own goal line. Fielded at the 43. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. CeeDee Lamb is intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. The give is to Elliott, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys! Amari Cooper, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Cowboys lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there.
And you'd think on 3rd down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Darnold, and it's out. He put it on the carpet. It's picked up by the Cowboys, powering his way forward. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
Second down and goal. Prescott. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Shaq Thompson leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Prescott on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down. And Zerline's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Darnold. He's going to look deep for more. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And break, the tight end's got it. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down. $17-0 our score after 1. Panther football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey, and he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. From the 50, it's Darnold. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Darnold on 3rd down. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot, and here another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Now Elliott. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now he's flushed out left, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well.
Under 10. Check. Cross. Back.
A first down carry by Elliott. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He's got his receiver, Cooper. Touchdown, Cowboys! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys continue to pull away here in this first half. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. On second down, McCaffrey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Micah Parsons in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Here's the Panthers punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Daniel Jones, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. The first down carried by Elliott doesn't amount to much as he'll get forward for about a couple.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play fake. Here's Prescott. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Brian Burns able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be, trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive to either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at about the 14. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now we'll look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Darnold. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he makes it all the way down to the 31.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go. Let's do this. Do it.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Darnold gets this to McCaffrey, and he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
One of the more productive and durable players up until last year. Remember, in 2019, 116 catches, which was an all-time record for NFL running backs. Trying to come back from an injury-filled 2020, just 17 catches on the year. Sure is great to see him back on the field doing his thing.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Micah Parsons in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Now Darnold. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is incomplete.
Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Let's put him in 47. Where's 52? Watch 52.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We begin with the big matchup of the weekend. Andy Reid's current and former squads. Kansas City taking on Philadelphia. And it's the Eagles who are out in front. The Eagles locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou and check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Jameis Winston has thrown a touchdown pass. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for Carolina, and they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half, and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Well, question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports and able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
On second down, Elliott. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 94 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Prescott off play action. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. They'll run on first down. Elliott. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Touchdown! That's caught. Amari Cooper, 51 yards. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Darnold now to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
Yeah, he's right there on the doorstep now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. On second down, it's Elliott. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Had the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Michael Gallup is the unsung member of the Cowboys receiving corps, but he's made some big catches during his time in Dallas. Now in his 4th season, he makes another one there.
Watch out, watch out. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check 43.
On first down, it's Elliott. 106 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Well, they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Peterson. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create, and if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he is out of bounds here. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
The Carolina offense about ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. He was trying to go back to Moore there, and it's 3rd and short. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. McCaffrey. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 48 yards rushing for him now to this point. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. 3rd and 2, Darnold. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Darnold from the gun. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. That catch good for only a couple. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Chase Young drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Come on now, let's go.
Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
And I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Panthers. Robbie Anderson, 84 yards.
And the Panthers are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle.
This is Tony Pollard.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
47, 26.
Off the play fake, Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play. On special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
He's going. We got double up. Yeah!
A former Oklahoma State Cowboy, it's Chuba Hubbard. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2, now they've got... And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run with Elliott, dancing away at the 35. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Flacco looking for his first toss. Going for the deep ball. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. Powers through him. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Elliott. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Back to the air, Darnold on second down. And he comes back with one complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the game there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. Broke a tackle, but not much room there. Just up past the 25, no further. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They go to Elliott again. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll run on 1st down. Elliott. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Check 26, check 26. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Check 99, check 99. Check. Under 10, under 10, 10.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. Oh, what a nice tackle there. That will hardly move the needle at all offensively. A very short gain. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Breaks a tackle. Elliott a 1st down and more. And down to the 29-yard line. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking, they think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Dallas, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.